All right, Peter. I got a couple questions for you about this LeBron James, this kind of momentum that the Cavaliers and LeBron James are taking right now. Of course, they won their 2 games before the All-Star break. LeBron James won
Good
that.
teams.
Yep, great teams. And LeBron James won the MVP for the All-Star game. He's done a lot. And with this momentum, will this carry the Cavaliers to the NBA Finals, but also capture an NBA championship?
See, I'm really torn, right?
Right.
Because part of me wants to say I'm pretty confident that Cleveland's going to make the finals, especially with, it's 2 games, and, we're advocates of the take a deep breath and wait and see approach. And we even said that last week on the Charge that, as impressive as the Cavs were after the Boston game or during the Boston game, we need to wait and see a little bit. But I would feel pretty comfortable saying there's probably an 80% chance the Cavs make the finals from the East. From the West, though, I really am torn between the Warriors and the Rockets. Like, I have no idea who's going to make it.
Right.
And part of me wants to say that who the Cavaliers will face is really dependent. Like, it's going to really decide how close the series is.
Right.
If it's the Warriors, right? I just don't think there's any chance they beat the Warriors.
No chance, okay.
But the Rockets, right? Even though this is not saying the Rockets are worse, I just think that from what we've seen, I think that being in the finals of anything, right? The Super Bowl, NBA Finals, experience is key.
Yeah.
The Rockets not only have never made the finals with their current team, they've not been very successful in the playoffs in general. Chris Paul has never been that great in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
James Harden has been pretty bad in the playoffs when he plays. So let's say they do make the NBA Finals, right? By some miracle, they beat the Warriors. I honestly think the Cleveland Cavaliers would beat the brakes off the Rockets.
Okay.
Just based on the fact that I think the Rockets would put every bit of energy they had into beating the Warriors. And then Cleveland would be like, oh, yeah, we just, swept the Eastern Conference. And now, all we have to beat is this team that's never experienced what it's like to be in the finals. Right. I really do think Cleveland would win the NBA championship then. If it's the Warriors, though, I'm thinking 4-1, 4-0, honestly.
Okay.
But I do think with the momentum that LeBron James has right now, and the fact that it looks like all these new guys have already bought into what Cleveland needs to be for them to be successful.
Right.
I think they're going to make the finals.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're going to make the finals for sure. Now, of course, before the trade happened, before the Isaiah thing occurred, we were saying that, this team's probably not going to make the finals anymore.
Yeah.
But now that they've had this new trade, the guys look a little bit more rejuvenated. The defense should only be getting better, theoretically. I mean, there's a lot of theoreticals here. So it should be looking good there. I do think that with the Warriors' struggles, not in terms of how they play, but mentally, kind of reminds me of that Lakers team that lost to the Pistons. I know there was a little bit different stuff going on.
Yeah.
With, the Kobe stuff and Shaq getting a little bit fatter, Kobe calling him out.
Yeah.
The Karl Malone stuff. It just kind of rings a bell of that kind of distraction because, all throughout this last couple of weeks before the All-Star break, Steve Kerr was saying, my guys are fried. They're tired of listening to my voice. That's why, we had our players coach the game.
Yeah.
Instead of him. I don't know. It just kind of reeks of that 2000 and was it 4?
I think so, right? 2004 or 2003.
No.
I think it was 2004.
2004. Right. Whatever the year that the Pistons won, that's what it kind of reeks of to me. I think that even though there's not the same kind of drama that they're dealing with, I still think that Steph Curry looks a little bit tired. Clay looks a little bit tired.
I think the biggest piece of this whole equation is Draymond Green.
I think it's Draymond Green and Kevin Durant because they both are leading the league in technicals.
Draymond Green looks fried. Like, he looks fried. And he looked absolutely fried in the All-Star game.
Right.
When he played, he was trash.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that he's like, and I've heard other people say this before, but he's obviously like that guy who was always like pushing the pace.
Yeah.
I felt like for them. And the ultra competitive dude on the team who, like, Draymond Green never wanted to lose.
Right.
For the first 5 years he was in the league. He's like, I want to win every single game I play.
Yeah, exactly.
He doesn't seem like he cares. And I'm worried for that team, even though I don't like them as a team.
Yeah.
I'm worried for them that because he's so fried, that the team is just going to fizzle out. Like, really, I actually am legitimately starting to get a little worried for the Warriors.
Yeah. I think I'm getting a little bit worried because of that, and also the fact that, like, if it all just based on the fact that if Durant has a good game or not, then I think they could either win or lose. It's make or break with Kevin Durant now. It's finally becoming, it used to be like a team.
Mm-hmm.
Now I think it's solely on Durant now for this championship at least, or if they're trying to go for this next championship.
Yeah. I think that this year is definitely on KD, because let's say Steph Curry's had some issues with his ankle throughout his whole career, right? And this season he missed, what did he miss? Like 17 games or something like that?
Like 2 weeks, I think, or something like that.
It could happen again, right? But their team is still talented enough by far to make the finals and win without Steph Curry. Mm-hmm. But I think between the fact that Steph Curry is just one twisted ankle away from, missing another 20 games, and the fact that Draymond Green doesn't seem like he wants to play basketball anymore, there's a lot of factors that were just volatility with this Warriors team. Yeah. Like, any number of things could happen to put them in a situation where they meet the Rockets in the Western Conference Finals and just get smashed. Like, it could happen. I think really, though, they're fine. Yeah. Like, that's just like, we're just hypothetically discussing, and there's a lot of things to be seen with the Warriors right now to be a little concerned. Mm-hmm. But really, when it boils down to it, they have 4 All-NBA players. I mean, Draymond Green has not played like an All-NBA player this year. Yeah. But if let's say he just wasn't into it the first half of the season, and he turns it back on after this, right? Which there's probably a pretty good chance that's going to happen. There's nothing to worry about. I put a lot more stock into Draymond Green being a catalyst than I think a lot of other people do. But I think, like, he's the guy. Like, they need him to be locked in.
Yeah, because he kind of brings that energy that kind of is missing from the bench, since they had to, like, re-sign all these guys and potentially Clay in the future, even though the owner has said that he doesn't want to pay the luxury tax so long. Mm-hmm. He's just that guy that just brings the energy, and it kind of, trickles down to, like, the Jordan Bells of the team, even though he's injured right now. McCaw. What is it, McCaw? McCaw. Patrick McCaw. Yeah. Yeah, so, like, those kind of guys, I think that energy brings it down to them, and they kind of get the swagger and the toughness from him. The one player that I'm disappointed, though, in the Warriors is Nick Young.
I think overall their bench is trash.
Their bench is trash.
It's really bad. Like, Andre Iguodala has been bad this season. Yeah. Like, legitimately hinders the team by quite a bit. Yeah. And that's not to be, like, it's not considering what he does for them off the court. He's probably very important to the team from what I've heard. He takes a lot of people under his wing, and he's, like, a coaching style player, But he's been really atrocious to play. Yeah. And Nick Young, bad.
Yeah, that was just a...
Zaza, when he's on the court, not great. No. Their team is weak. Patrick McCaw has really taken a step back this season. He doesn't look good. They need Jordan Bell. Like, they absolutely need him. Yeah. And we were both kind of, like, praising him early on. Mm-hmm. And I don't think a lot of people took credence of, like, how important he was to their scoring off the bench. Yeah. They legitimately need that guy, because Nick Young has been terrible too.
Yeah. I can't even remember the last game that he was good in. Like, it's been a long time since he's had, like, a really good game, or even just be impactful.
Not a single game since he's played for the Warriors. I don't think he's had one good game for the Warriors.
Yeah, it's disappointing to see that, because
JaVale McGee too been bad this season.
Yeah, but they don't really use JaVale McGee as much.
Yeah, they've used him in the last few seasons though, and he's still on the team. So
yeah, I think they're missing just that, like, Andrew Bogut-esque player that sets those dirty screens.
What they're missing is Andre Iguodala being what he was for them the last 4 years.
Yeah, and Sean Livingston, he's been kind of disappointing too.
Yeah, he's not been great this season either. I mean, that's the thing. Sean Livingston and Andre Iguodala are the veteran presence, you know. And they were the guys that would come off the bench, lead the second team, and dominate other teams.
Right.
And they are getting dominated by every single second team in the league when they play. So that being said, I mean, the Warriors are either just going to get absolutely burned out, like they're 4 guys.
Yeah.
Or the bench needs to step up. I mean, that's one of the things that needs to happen for them to win. And that's a big thing with Houston. Their bench is pretty good. Mm-hmm. Houston has a pretty deep bench. Like, look at, like, they got Gerald Green. We discussed this last week. I thought the Joe Johnson signing was really good, but you were worried. They already have a guy like that. They have Gerald Green. But that's the point. They already have Gerald Green, and they have Joe Johnson. Those are 2 guys that I would take over basically anybody on the Warriors bench. Mm-hmm. And that's not saying Joe Johnson's that great. He's been pretty terrible this season. He was really bad on Utah.
Yeah.
But still, I would take him over Nick Young any day of the week. And he's like the 4th option, coming off the bench for the Rockets, if not like the 5th or the 6th.
Yeah.
That's pretty telling of the difference between the 2 benches.